All right, this is going to be a look at, and I can't believe I'm finishing this opening sentence in this manner. This is going to be a look at some Anthony Brown film, specifically three throws that he made in the Ravens' 16-14 win over the Steelers. And so the ones that I'm referring to, I'll prep them now, is the first throw of the game, his first play in the NFL in a regular season as a quarterback from the negative 1 yard line, our own 1 yard line, throwing from inside his own end zone with a defensive lineman in his face. He's able to complete a 3 yard pass to Demarcus Robinson. And I have a unique perspective on that play because we've ran that exact play against the Steelers now 4 times dating back to 2020. I'll reference it, and I think most of you guys will remember it. And then the two throws in the middle of the eighth possession, a 13-play drive for like 57, 58 yards where Tucker's field goal puts us up 16-7. But Anthony Brown has two throws on that drive that are clutch. He has three throws on the drive. It's 9 runs, 3 passes, and then the one field goal will be the 13th play. Like I said, Tucker puts us up 16-7. And I want to digress a moment and talk about two things. So the title, Best Job in Sports. I think there was a backup quarterback. I can't remember who it was. It may have been Peyton Manning's backup, but I could be wrong, who said, that being the backup quarterback is the best job in sports because, you work out and you keep yourself in shape and you get to go to meetings, but you don't have to do anything on game day. There's no pressure on you until there is. And Tyler Huntley had all that pressure on Sunday, but Anthony Brown being active, first game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we release Anthony Brown at some point? I know he was on our practice squad, obviously, but I have a lot of good things to say about him, and I'm going to parlay or shift that comment, best job in sports, into someone else that I think is a neat comparison. Geno Smith. I think he also had a quote about being a backup quarterback, and of course now he's 30 and having a great season. I think he's 30, maybe he's 31. I know that, Seattle's only 7-6 now, so they haven't surged, to where they thought they might be, but they had a great draft, and Geno Smith's a big part of what's happening there. I think they trust him, and he has totally shifted or changed the dynamic of his career trajectory, even though, presumably he's not going to play till he's 40 or 45, but he's created generational wealth for himself, and I want to link Geno Smith and the trajectory of his career to three guys that the Ravens have drafted. And I wonder if the Ravens are creating those opportunities for guys who maybe other franchises are not creating them for. I don't know what this dynamic is. Am I saying the Ravens are good at developing quarterbacks? I don't know. But I'm talking about Trace McSorley, Tyler Huntley, and Anthony Brown. Of course, we only have a half of a game of film for Anthony Brown, so we're jumping the gun. Really, we're jumping the gun a lot on that. But there's three guys here, two of which are still with us, who, McSorley was a 6th-round pick, and then Huntley and Brown were undrafted free agents who the Ravens gave opportunities to, and those guys appear to be taking advantage of them. I saw Anthony Brown film from last year at Oregon, and I'll be honest with you, I did not see this. I didn't see him playing in an NFL game this year. I really did not, just based on what I saw. I watched it because Devin Williams when we got him as a undrafted free agent. So in any case, man, credit to Anthony Brown, credit to the Ravens staff for having the guy prepared, winning a game, relying on our defense and our run game, which was clutch. Let's get to the film. Now, I am missing one play in here, so as we get to the film, I think I will be missing a play that I refer to, just to preface it and let you guys know. Let me know what you think on my thoughts about guys like McSorley, Huntley, Brown, possibly being in the NFL, 6, 8, 10 years, creating generational wealth for their family as backups primarily. But who knows? At some point down the road, if there's an open-minded team like the Seattle Seahawks with Geno Smith and an opportunity when they trade away Russell Wilson, if there's an opportunity for those guys to step in, even if it's after an injury, I feel like it's possible the Ravens are creating opportunities for guys like these people, McSorley, Huntley, and Brown, to advance their career, stay in the NFL, and possibly create generational wealth for their family, by having the best job in sports until, like I said, it's not. So, going to go through the situation of how it happened. This is a 4th and 1, the failed jet sweep fumble on our 4th possession. It looks like it's actually supposed to be jet sweep. So, because you have what looks like to be a crack here by Demarcus Robinson, setting up a crack. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be a handoff to Drake. This looks like Everybody is running outside zone to the left with our O-line, and then we're handing it off. Why do I show you this? All right, so it's a failed 4th and 1 where we turn the ball over on the fourth possession. Here's the end zone angle. How does this relate to Anthony Brown? Well, I think it leads up to it with 2 possessions later. We had a failed call on a play concept that we haven't run a whole lot. And we haven't run a whole lot with our backup quarterbacks, right? I'm talking about that jet sweep, that failed jet sweep, the fumble, bobbled, snap, whatever. So the 6th possession, now we're here in the midfield. I think the ball's on the 49. Like I said, 6th possession, 3rd and 4. What do we go to? We don't go to something tricky, something new. We don't go to something that is unfamiliar to us or that we can't execute. We go to old reliable, QB counter read. And it gets Tyler Huntley hurt. Now, I criticize this call. I still don't like it. But in the context of the failed 4th and 1, I can at least understand it. I would still like the ball to be given to Edwards or Dobbins or something like that. But Drake is our 3rd down back. On this play, failed down block by Cologne. Because of the front, we're pulling Linderbaum, and then we're pulling Stanley to wrap, and Stanley's great at it, and Linderbaum's great at the kick out, but we're unable to execute this block with Cologne, just a back block on the canted 1. And you can see, if we can get that guy down blocked, this is there. That would mean Stanley would be free to get through on the wrap. Forgive me if this player's messing up. Stanley would be free to get through on the wrap, and it would be there. We'd be talking about a 1st down, Fitzpatrick making the tackle, probably for a 5-yard gain, 4 or 5-yard gain. As it is, that D tackle that Cologne was unable to take down gets in Stanley's way, also makes the tackle, so great play by him, and then Fitzpatrick finishes it off. Misread by Robert Spillane on the play. So how does that relate to Anthony Brown? Well, it's what got Huntley put in the protocol. It's what got Huntley hurt. Hopefully he's okay. So same play, end zone angle, or all 22 angle. And you can see how there this play would be because of Spillane. Spillane misreads it. Spillane's gone this way. Huntley keeps it. They got nobody assigned to quarterback at the 2nd level. Thankfully for them, the D tackle is there, and then Fitzpatrick. So great play by them. Knocks Huntley out of the game. Unfortunately for us, we on a 3rd and 4, I think we only get 2 yards. So how does this relate to Brown? Well, Brown's in the game. Next possession. Very next possession. First snap in the NFL from his own end zone. A lot of things to say about this. Gutsy call by the Ravens staff. Pressure from the edge by Hayward. I mean, that's Cam Hayward that, for whatever reason, we're letting beat us to the outside. One of the few times that Ronnie did anything wrong this game, if you ask me. But great execution. Reverse pivot by Brown. Guy in his face. You have to throw the football. I suspect that this is a 2-read play. It's just flood. You got Andrews here. Demarcus Robinson there. And then Ricard out in the flats. Does anybody here have a great memory? I know some of you do. A lot of you do. We ran this play against the Steelers before. Highsmith had an interception on Lamar opening the 3rd quarter at home in 2020 on this exact play. Same exact play. Earlier in the game, Highsmith had gotten beat by Andrews for a big game. Same play. Quarterback throwing it to his left. Reverse pivoting out. So reverse pivoting out. And you get 3 routes here. Flood. So we're giving him options, so that's great. I think, he would have liked to have maybe thrown to Ricard if this edge player doesn't drop out. But this is very similar to what Highsmith did, except Highsmith on the interception got a whole lot of depth, if you remember, and he ran underneath of Andrews' route. Ballsy to run the same concept from your 1-yard line that the Steelers, had picked off 2 years ago. Same formation, everything. I need to throw that video up so you guys can see it. There's 98. I can't help but see Vince Williams there. Every time I see 98, he was such an underrated player for them. Very rare to see Ronnie get beat, in this manner, especially in this game. But, man, credit to Brown. Hayward is bearing down on him. Stands there, takes it, doesn't just take off. Great job over here. We've created a wall. No pressure from that side. Boom. quick completion. I know that some people say, like, why are we throwing there? Okay, fine, if that's your criticism. But, we did get the completed pass. We did get the ball out quickly. Now, I'm missing the run by JK on the ensuing play, and I want to correct something I said in my reaction video. Prochet is not as open as I thought here. This is the 3rd and 9 where Brown gets sacked by Watt. So Prochet's the guy in motion. He's coming across the middle of the screen. When we saw the broadcast view, of course it's not from this angle, I obviously did not see Fitzpatrick here sitting and waiting on this route, but there's also something off screen that Fitzpatrick is he's kind of sitting between Prochet's route and the one that's off screen to our right that we can't see. So in my reaction video, I said that Prochet was wide open. He was not. There is clearly, a safety who is available to make the play if Brown throws the ball in this area, and it's a guy like Fitzpatrick who's got a knack for making big plays. If anything, late the throw to Andrews is there, but at this point, the pocket is crumbling. Again, I think it's Hayward on Ronnie. And it's not Hayward, that's Highsmith. My bad. Crunches the pocket, sack. But at least we get the ball out of there. At least we got the ball out of there. Big moment, if you ask me. So here's the punt, the very next play after the sack, which was on a 3rd and 9. At least we got the ball out of there. And this is a clutch tackle by Hamilton. I think it's Hamilton. In between the hashes, clutch tackle. It's not like there's a whole lot of yards there to be had, to be honest with you. But look where Hamilton plays on punt. He's our slot. He's got to block someone. Okay, now go. Because, he's not going to block the punt at that point if he didn't rush seriously off the edge. And then a great tackle. Yeah, there's other guys there. Don't get me wrong. They will be able to finish it off, but a great play. All right, we're going to move forward to the Steelers, that Steelers possession, that next Steelers possession, and this is Calais' block. I think I only have one angle of this. I've lost 2 plays. Man, what a surge by him. Look what he does to the guard in the center. I mean, it's an unbelievable play by Calais. But these guys don't even look, they're overwhelmed numbers-wise. Just look at what we've done here. 5 guys on one side. Unbelievable. 6, actually, excuse me. Put him in the A-gap. Apparently, Calais said that it was an adjustment by the special teams coach, putting him in the A-gap. And you also have great effort by what looks like Broderick Washington, who played a hell of a game. I'm not sure where Broderick is. I want to say that's him right there. Actually, that might be him right there. Great stances, man. Butt is higher than the head. He is ready to rock and roll. Oh, my. Look at what he does to Hayward. I mean, that's just unbelievable effort by us. So it's not like Anthony Brown had to make any game-winning plays. He just had to not lose it. However, on this next drive, you'll see 2 throws that he made that I think is just a credit to him. Getting kind of skinny through the hole a little bit, and it helps to be 6'8" and 330 pounds. Man, we're giving so much effort. Look at what happened. That's rare for that to happen to Cam Hayward, who's just a Hall of Fame player, in my opinion. Very rare to see him get decked like that. Not rare to see Calais Campbell block a field goal late in the game. Okay, so we're going to move forward. This is the 8th possession. Okay, so it's not the next possession. We're up 13-7, and we get a 13-play drive, like I said. This is a 3rd and 1 at our own 39. We give the dive to Ricard. Old school football, fullback dive, just surging forward. We didn't get a great push, don't get me wrong. We got great effort by some guys. Look at Moses go low. Almost an illegal block, guys, because that D tackle's been engaged. Now, he's going low on the inside because he thinks that's where Watt's going. Watt's stepping outside. So I'm not saying it's intentional by Moses, but I have seen this called before where this D tackle is being engaged by 2 players, and then Moses is going down low. Again, I don't think it's intentional. I think he's going on a track that he thinks Watt is going on. If I was to say anything about Morgan Moses, because I think he's played great for us this year, with some exceptions, I would say when guys stem outside that he has trouble with that, whether it's run plays or pass plays. Same play, 3rd and 1 from our own 39. I guess really it's our own 40. Ricard for 2. Wonderful. All right, we had just run 3 plays in a row. And then we passed 3 times in a row with Anthony Brown. Shocking. First and 10, negative 41. This is going to be incomplete pass to Duve, who is open. I think Brown is a touch off with the timing here. I think the ball should be out a little earlier, but you can see Duve is breaking back towards the middle, and the throw is on the downside here. Could have been intercepted. I like the concept. Andrews on the wheel, opening it up for Duve in the middle because he's got great hands. Unfortunately, we're not able to come up with this one, but fortunately, they're not able to pick it off. That's one, if you ask me, I'm not going to be able to draw this accurately because it's the all-22 view. Instead of being here where his hands are, it needs to be more, more this way, obviously, which is the direction that Duve was curling into. That was first and 10 after 3 straight runs, and we throw the ball. So then now we're second and 10. Now we kind of got to. Complete pass to Robinson up top on speed out. Great play. Robinson has this available most of the year. This speed out is there. I still keep waiting for the out and up. I feel like it's been open once or twice this year. But look at the throw by Brown. The timing is pretty damn good, I think. The accuracy is right there. Looks like Lamar or Huntley threw it. In rhythm, boom. Gets us 6 yards. Makes third down something that we can manage, something that we can actually deal with. Same play, end zone angle, I think. My apologies. This is the 3rd and 4. And look what the Steelers do. They are bringing heat. Bringing 6. So he's got to get rid of the ball quick. So credit to them. They said, hey, you got your third-string quarterback in. We're going to go ahead and bring heat. Unfortunately for them, Fitzpatrick takes too long to drop down, but they're trying to disguise it a little bit, having Bush walk up late. So they don't want to give it away by having Fitzpatrick walk down early. Andrews just sits it down. Great catch, secures the football. I think a 7-yard gain on a 3rd and 4. Again, Brown gets rid of the ball quick. Those 2 throws, if you ask me, are huge. They're not huge statistically. Who knows how many passes Anthony Brown will complete in his entire career in the NFL. Hopefully it's hundreds, for some other team, because we want Lamar to complete thousands here. But those 2, if you ask me, is a great start. 8th possession, up 13-7. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 4. Completions, one to the outside to Demarcus Robinson on a speed out, timing pattern versus off coverage. And then versus heavy blitz man, Andrews sits it down. Quick delivery, accurate throw. Obviously, the 1st and 10 throw was not accurate, was not a great one. This field goal puts us up 16-7. I feel like this is a huge moment for the Ravens this year, and I'm going to relate it to something from, I guess 2 weeks ago, when we won against the Broncos. And I said this last week. When we won against the Broncos, the quote heroes were Huntley and Drake, right? Those guys made the play to win the game in the 4th quarter. That was last week, excuse me. Now this week, it's our backup quarterback making 2 big plays. I mean, it was our run game that really fueled the offense and the offensive line. Don't get me wrong. And our defense played great. But to me, again, it says a lot about our team, and it says a lot about the character of the guys that are out there, that you have backups, third-string guys coming in and making plays in important moments. That catch by Drake and the throw by Huntley against the Broncos, that was in the 60th minute of the game. That throw by those 2 throws by Brown, I think was in the 4th quarter. I might be wrong. Let me check. I think it was in the 4th quarter to put us up 16-7. Of course, the Steelers go down and score on the very – it was in the 4th quarter. They go down and score on the very next possession. They get the ball to make it 16-14. I think it says a lot about Anthony Brown. I think it says a lot about whoever's, running the quarterback drills, the passing game stuff, the run game stuff. Our staff offensively gets a lot of criticism, rightfully so in a lot of cases, don't get me wrong. But there are some situations where I think we're developing players. Are we developing Anthony Brown, Tyler Huntley, and Trace McSorley into long-term starters in the NFL? Well, it would be very easy to say the answer to that is no. However, look at Geno Smith's progression. Geno Smith's a guy who was a backup for at least 3 or 4 years in a row with occasional starts in there, don't get me wrong. And now all of a sudden he has kind of planted himself as the starter in Seattle, having a great season for most of the year. There's been some hiccups here recently. But in any case, let me know what you think of my thoughts about Anthony Brown having the best or maybe the second best job in sports as the third string quarterback behind Lamar Jackson, suddenly thrust into the role, completing 3, I think, important passes on simple concepts, don't get me wrong, and the guts of our staff to call that throw from the negative 1 yard line, our own one, I thought was impressive. And the guile and character and technique of Anthony Brown to execute those throws, I thought was important. It's a game of inches, though, because his first and 10 throw to Duve could have very easily been intercepted because that one was off target. So let me know what you think of my thoughts. Anthony Brown's play, the Ravens' ability to get another crazy, nail-biting win, this time against the Steelers, and push their record to 9-4. If you really like the video and enjoy my content, please consider sharing on social media to help this video get more reach.